All right, guys, Kevin here on my new YouTube channel, The Sports Geek Second. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to show you guys quickly how you could subscribe. Let's see here, The Sports Geek. So this is an example using my other channel because I'm logged into my second channel. So what you would do is you would go to The Sports Geek Second channel, and after you subscribe, you want to get notifications here. So you want to click on this little gear button and click here, send me all notifications for this channel, and press save. So every time I get on a live stream, you'll be able to join live. You'll get a notification on your phone. So make sure you do that for my second channel. And again, if you guys are probably watching this on the channel, so you can just click the subscribe button. But the channel name should be The Sports Geek Second if you want to search that in the search bar. So I just logged in here for the first time into Fantasy Labs onto my model. Haven't checked out anything for the day, so this is kind of just going off the model here without doing much research. We've got an hour until games. I'm just looking to get a GPP stack and a pitcher here. So I'll look for a stack and one pitcher, and then I'll build from there. So we're going to go to the new stack feature here on the right, and we're going to go by confirmed and projected, just because there's a couple lineups that aren't out yet. I believe it's only a couple teams playing at 2 o'clock Eastern, I believe. So we're going to stick with confirmed and projected. Click build stacks. And it's showing the top one is going to be the Angels. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 hitters for the day. So that would not be a bad stack today. It's only costing 19,000. If we go over to the lineup page. So I was checking out the betting lines for the day earlier. And I believe there's a high total in that game and high team totals. If you can see here, it's Angels at Boston, 5.1 implied team total for the Angels, 5.4 for Boston. So a lot of people are going to be on this game. You can do a full game stack with both teams, but I'm guessing, these guys are pretty pricey. The Angels aren't too bad here, but it would cost quite a bit to stack this game, so you'd have to go cheaper with the pitchers. And looking at the pitcher options, you can see a lot of the guys that are rated high are actually expensive. So let me switch this over first to the 1 o'clock games only with the 1 o'clock slate with the 9 games. Oh, I know. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a rookie to this live feed. I had it on my webcam. So hopefully now that's better. You can see my Fantasy Labs screen. Hold on one sec. I'll get my phone so I can see any comments. So you guys, actually, I can pull it up here on my computer, I think. There we go. So anyone who's live and wants to chat in the chat box, I can actually see it now. So if something like that happens where I've got my webcam on and not my screen, then you guys can let me know in the chat and I'll switch it over. But now we're on to the Fantasy Labs screen here. So you can see the pitchers here for the day. We've got the 3 top rated pitchers in my model are all in the 5-figure range, all over 11,000 and closer to the 12,000 range. So today might be a day where you go expensive with the pitching and go a little cheaper with your stacks for the GPPs. But also, we've got a couple pitchers here. We got Chris Archer, Velasquez, who are in the $8,000 range. And that, if you take those 2 guys, that would allow you to spend up on some more expensive stacks. So it's a little bit different theory. You could either go with game theory here. You could go with 2 expensive pitchers and build a cheap lineup with some cheap hitters, or you could go with the cheaper pitchers and go with more expensive hitters. Kind of have to take a look at the batters again in the stack. So I'll go back to build stacks. Looking at the top rated stack, it's 19,200. So you're getting some cheap Angel players in there. Let's see where. I'm just gonna sort this by team and go down to the Angels and just kind of see what we've got going on, because it looks like the Angels might be the best option on the day. So Cron and Petit, let's see. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of hitters over 60 on the Fantasy Lab rating. So you could kind of go any way with this. You could stack the 1 to 5 hitters, and you're still getting a pretty good stack. But if you want to leave out someone like Pujols, who's pretty expensive and has a rating of 60, you could not roster him and go with someone with a little higher rating there for the Angels. So that's maybe what I'll do is I'll lock in the number one stack here, because I think a lot of people, if they are stacking the Angels, they might go 1 through 5, or they might do a game stack. They might pick maybe 4 Angels. So I'm going to lock in this stack here. So click the load button, and then I'm going to go to the pitchers and let's see here. So Strasburg is the highest rated. He's coming off an injury, so I'm not sure how many innings he's going to get today. I wonder if there's any type of pitch limit for him. Sometimes I just Google that and look for not images. Look for some news about him to return. So if you Google the pitcher's name and then pitch limit, sometimes it'll talk about innings limit or pitch limit when they're coming off the DL. I don't really see anything in the headlines, but usually I would go through this and read and see if Strasburg is going to be pitching on some kind of limit. And then usually Fantasy Labs will have some news if he is. So it doesn't look like it. So I think I'm going to lock in Strasburg as one of my pitchers here. And then we're going to go to build lineups. I'm just going to optimize it and see what it comes up with. So right there, we're using all of our salary, $50,000. That's probably a lineup I would throw in a GPP. We've got an Angel stack. You can see there's 2 Boston players in there. So there is a little bit of a game stack going on. 1 Texas player as well. But I think that would be a pretty popular lineup in a GPP. Maybe not those exact players, but I think a lot of people are going to be playing the Angels and the Red Sox players. And then Strasburg's going to be a top option. Archer is going to be a top cheap option. A lot of people will go Syndergaard. A lot of people will be on Lester. So I might want to change something up here. I might go with, let's see if we can clear that, go back to the stacks, load in this Angel stack. Let's see what happens if we go with 2 cheap pitchers. I'll lock in Archer and Velasquez and see what that gets us for hitters. So again, it's throwing in 2 Boston players as well. And then it's throwing in Carpenter, who's 5,600, very expensive on the day, but he's probably one of the highest rated on the day. Let's see where he is. Yeah, he's the 6th highest or 7th highest player on the day. So that would be a good lineup there. Again, if you want to be a little more contrarian, you could try some different pitchers. You could go with someone who's going to be a little less popular, maybe Kluber in Toronto. Not a lot of people like to play any pitchers pitching in the Rogers Center, especially against a pretty good hitting Jays lineup, but they're missing a couple players today. They're resting a couple players, and Bautista's still in the DL, so that might be a good play. Something like that where you go off the board a little bit with your pitcher. But anyways, that is just a quick look at the stacks for today. I got to get going and build my own lineups for the day. I'm going to throw a couple GPPs in. But again, I'll be looking at the Angels and then going back to these stacks. Let's just take a look at a couple more of these. So you can see the Angels and Boston are popular stacks. You got St. Louis is going to be popular. Washington, Tampa Bay might be a team that you could go a little contrarian with. So if we go to Tampa Bay, yeah, they're expected to score, or the implied team total is 4.9 runs. So maybe like a Chris Archer and Tampa Bay stack would be a little less popular, but could be a good play. I would kind of stay away from the Blue Jays against Kluber. I'd probably stay away from the Indians today against Happ. But anytime there's a game at the Rogers Center, there's a chance for a lot of runs. So I wouldn't necessarily stay away from them in GPPs. Just wouldn't be my top option. The Nationals will be popular. Strasburg with the Nats could be a stack. Expected to score or implied team total 5.1. And these 2 o'clock games are also included in the slate. A team like Texas on the road could be a good stack that's not as highly owned. Stack a couple players from that team. So what I would do is probably just go through here, do some research, and just kind of choose one of these stacks. But For the sake of this video, I'm going to throw this lineup that I created, if it's still there. Yeah. I'm going to throw that in a GPP, just a $3 GPP or something, just to see how it does. So that's how I would quickly build a lineup with Fantasy Labs. Obviously, you'd want to do a little more research, but that's how I would quickly do it. And then I would obviously check each player. So I wouldn't just blindly throw this in. I would check on each player that it gave me in the optimizer, just double check that everything looks good, and then I would throw it in a lineup or throw it in a contest. So I'll throw this lineup in a contest, and in the future videos, I'll go more in depth. It's just a long weekend here, and I just wanted to quickly get this video up on my new channel, so make sure you subscribe. If you like this video, click the like button, and I'll continue to make these as often as I can throughout the week. All right, good luck in your contest, guys.